We're here with Brett Kelley, Civil War soldier. We have some Facebook questions for Brett. First one is from Mark Fastnot. Brett, what kind of rations are you eating on your march, and how often do you eat?
Well, the rations that I'm eating on the march are pretty much, I'm trying to keep as close to what the soldiers actually ate, what they had available to them, and I'm definitely counting on the kindness of strangers in some cases. I'm eating things like bacon, eggs, ham, uh, steak, or well, I should say beef, a lot of dried beef, like beef jerky, that sort of thing, cornmeal, uh, making that into like Johnny cakes with bacon grease, that type of stuff. Not the most palatable thing in the world, especially probably the way I make them, but I do what I can. Um, and you know, some of the other things that I'll eat would be apples, peanuts, cheese, and bread. If bread comes my way, I will not turn it down. Now, I've been very fortunate that several people along the way have taken me in as far as feeding me along the way. The first night when we were down at Eli's Ford, the family that owned the barn that I stayed in, they actually had me come in and have dinner with them, and I was given some fish and potatoes, so that was very good. Definitely an unexpected bounty. Another lady from the graffiti house, who was one of the boards of directors at graffiti house, made sure that I had some ham biscuits the next morning as I was getting ready to leave. So that was very nice. I've had all sorts of other unexpected things. Sandwiches that people have made for me. A lot of people have offered me things that are more 20th century. Things like a Gatorade or things like that. Usually I try and be as tactful as I can in letting them know that I'm trying to stick to the 19th century fare. Sometimes it's not that easy, but I'm doing the best that I can. And as I continue on, I expect I'll probably be offered other types of food as I move further north, and I'm excited to find out what that might be. So I'll keep you posted.
Okay, our second question comes from Katie Goodrich. She says, I've been wondering, how are your feet holding up?
My feet, that's a good question. Definitely the focus of much of my attention. I've actually developed some pretty epic blisters on my feet, especially on my heel, on my right foot. It's a blister that's gone from this big, it's getting big, and my heel is only so big, so eventually I'm going to run out of foot for that blister to grow. But it usually takes me a good 20 to 25 minutes in the morning to prepare for my march, and that's just taking care of my feet in the morning. That's definitely a concern along the way. It takes me a good mile to start to limber up a little bit, but it's something that they had to deal with, and I'm dealing with it also.
Our last question comes from Patty Rhodes. She says, Hi, I was wondering if you had any trouble from the locals.
Actually, I haven't had any trouble from the locals at all. 99.9% of the people that I've met have been very supportive and very encouraging. I get all sorts of waves, thumbs up, and I even got a couple of rebel yells. What I guess that's what they were supposed to be. Lots of support. Everything from people bringing me food to just drivers along the road moving out into the other lanes so that I have room to walk by safely. Truck drivers on some of the larger roads that I've been on have been extremely courteous, which is just fantastic, because that is a major concern of mine, is safety along the way, not only for myself but for the drivers themselves. Seeing a Confederate soldier walking down the street can be a little bit distracting, and so I'm glad that so far everybody's been very safe. But overall, the people of Virginia have been extremely supportive, and I thank them all for that. We're going to be headed into West Virginia today. We'll see how West Virginia fares in the courteous department. I'm sure they'll do fine. Thank you for your questions. I really appreciate all of them, and please keep them coming.